What is up, YouTube? So, sorry, it's a little bit off here, but alright, anyways. I got a raw video for you. I am 26 years old, and for the last 10 years, I've had the worst relationship with my parents anybody could possibly have. Before I get into it, hit that subscribe button. Please like this video and check out my channel. I have a few other videos. Like them too, please. So, here, story goes. I am 13 to 15 years old, going into high school. Every teenager ever in the history of teenagers goes to high school. Starts off grade 9, didn't have a lot of friends, meeting new people. It was a bunch of, in our community, or my high school that I went to, it was about 5 or 6 different towns that went to my high school. Got to meet new people, crowds, popular kids, whatever. If you weren't popular, you were nobody, right? So I tried to stay in the nobody range for my first 2 years of high school anyways, before I started to make friends. Anyway, so I'm 15 years old, start to make some friends. Typical thing for teenagers to do is to experiment with, you get peer pressure and you experiment with drugs and whatever. Now I give a lot of people props that never went down that path, because it's very hard in high school. High school is a very judgmental place to be. When I was 15 years old, like I said, I started with a crowd of people that I wanted to be friends with because they were the popular kids, right? Started off with smoking pot, doing those kinds of things, and then smoking cigarettes is when I started, when I was 15 years old. And I, met a lot of different people, and my parents, they despised the fact that I had friends that weren't black and white. They were very outgoing, very friendly. They weren't, get a job, graduate, continue working that job until, you're old and you hate your life because you're doing something stupid. Anyways, I started co-op. I was an electrical apprentice, got signed on at a high school, worked there for a long time, number of years. Sorry, I'm just rambling, but I'm trying to get to my point. My parents and I didn't get along starting in high school. Everything that I would do was not good enough for them. Everything that they would do would be a favor for me. I'm their kid. I don't expect things in life, but I don't appreciate being told that I abuse the privilege of having them there, or I use them for certain things, or whatever they felt like saying to me, really. It was emotional abuse, really, is what I thought it was, happening, but it's a touchy subject for me. I have a family of my own now. I'm almost married. I have a beautiful son, 6 years old. He's my stepson. And I have a beautiful daughter, Brinley. My parents have not gotten to know my son, Blake, or my daughter, Brinley, and she's almost 8 months old now. It's very hard. They don't ask how she's doing. She's had a number of health issues, health concerns. When it comes to, she has a lip quiver. We're in fear that it could be seizures. Don't know what it is. But all the sporting events that my stepson goes to, they have not once come to. They have not asked how he's doing in them. They haven't asked me how I'm doing. They haven't asked my fiance how she's doing. Nothing. They don't ask about my life. We recently moved, and they expected me to volunteer our address, which, I'm all for giving them our new address, but they don't ask how we're doing, so I don't feel like I should tell them where I live until they start caring enough to ask how I'm doing. Now, I've asked how they're doing. My fiance's asked how they're doing. We try our best to keep that line of communication open, but when things don't work out their way, it is a nightmare because they think the worst possible things. They get negative with it all. They say we're using them. They say that, me especially, that I'm using them and that I am ungrateful. I don't say thank you for anything, but I've always thanked them every time they've done something nice for me. Now, there's two sides to every story. I understand that, but this is my side, and I don't know how to express myself to them. I don't know how to talk to them because every time I go to say something to them, I freeze up. I blank because I'm in fear of judgment, ridicule, and disappointment. I don't want to be a disappointment. You know, I was an electrician apprentice for so many years. I haven't finished it because I never had that moral support from them. I've had to do everything myself and scraping by. I've decided to close that chapter of my life and move on to something else. I recently applied to college to take business, something completely different. I have no experience with it whatsoever, but I decided I wanted to change, and I took that change. I applied, and I got accepted this morning. My parents won't know about that because they don't ask how I'm doing. They don't know anything about my life, and it's frustrating. But this is going to be a 7-8 minute video about me ranting about my parents. But I just want you all to know that if you have rough history with your parents and you don't get along, that you're not alone. I feel very alone inside, even though I have a family, that I feel like I'm the only one on my side of the family because my parents and my sister and my grandparents, nobody really talks to me because they don't have time or whatever the case may be. They just don't bother. They think that I'm out to get them or everyone's out to get them, and it's not that case at all. I'm trying to stay as positive as I can about it all, and I don't know what else to do at this point of this situation. Me and my fiance have both tried a number of times. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I'm ready to give up. If you have any advice on what I can do to really make things better or try and cope with the situation, I'd really appreciate a comment. Let me know. Don't really know what else to say about it, but thanks for watching. Bye for now.